Hi everybody, I got another quick weeknight dinner for you. This is going to be a really easy throw together chicken pot pie. So you'll see I have my little pan on the stove. I just dumped a bag of mixed vegetables, frozen mixed vegetables in there. And then here in my Instant Pot, I had some chicken breast that I cooked. Now, to make this a little bit easier for you, if you're not wanting to do that extra cooking, you can buy cans of chunk chicken breast. It'll work just as well. Also, down on the lower left-hand side, you see a white colander that has potatoes that I diced up and then boiled until they were just almost soft enough to turn into mashed potatoes. And then I pulled them out. To substitute for those, you can use canned potatoes instead of having to cut and boil potatoes. So you can have already prepackaged, ready to go ingredients. Would make this even faster than what I did, but I got all of this done in about an hour. But that would cut you down about maybe half an hour's time. Actually, probably more than that. So what I'm doing here is just taking 2 forks and I'm just pulling this chicken breast apart to shred it into little pieces. And this is 2 whole chicken breasts. And what I did is I had just butterflied them, cut them in half lengthways before I cooked them, and so they cooked a little bit faster. So that's why it looks like so many pieces. It was actually only 2 whole ones. And so I'm just shredding that up, and then I'll throw it in with the potatoes. So now we're jumping over. My mixed vegetables are good and heated through. So now I'm going to add cream of mushroom soup. These are just regular cans, so I'm going to end up adding 2. If you have those big, like family-sized cans, just 1 can will do for this. So I'm going in with my second one. And you just want to scrape off everything that's inside of your can. Make sure that you're using up all of your ingredients so there's no waste. And all we're going to do as far as cooking or pre-cooking, if you buy your canned potatoes and chicken breast, is just this part, getting your filling mixed up and heated. So we're going in black pepper. It's about half of a teaspoon. Salt, we're going to do about 1 teaspoon. And I'm using the pink Himalayan salt. You can use whichever you want. We're going in garlic powder is about 2 teaspoons because we like garlic. If you don't care for garlic very much, you could leave it out or just use a little bit less. That's personal preference on your part. I'm going to stir that all together before I end up mixing it down into the vegetables. Now I'm going to add a little bit of parsley flake. Again, about half of a teaspoon, and some oregano. I would use a little bit less than half a teaspoon because oregano sometimes can be really pungent flavor. So stir that, then stir the mixed vegetables into it. And we're just going to let that soup mix get good and hot in there. We're adding our potatoes and the shredded chicken. And whenever you're folding in this shredded chicken and potatoes, I say fold. You don't want to go in there and stir it like crazy because those potatoes are soft, especially if you are using the canned potatoes. They're very soft, and you don't want to completely mash them into oblivion. So just gently kind of fold over the mixture until everything is coated with that cream of mushroom. And if it's a little bit too thick, mine was, you can add a little bit of milk to it. I'm going to go in with about 1/4 cup of milk. If you're mixing up the regular soup, it's like 1 can of soup to 1 can of milk, but we want this a little bit on the thicker side. You don't want it super runny, so we're not going to use very much milk. Stir that in, let it heat all the way through. Now I'm going to bring over, I'm just using a regular pie plate to make mine. And this is another step that you can save yourself on. I'm using homemade pie crust. You can go and buy like the 99-cent pre-made pie crust at the store, is just as good, and you'll save yourself the time. If it's something that you're wanting to learn how to do, I do have a video on how to make homemade pie crust that I will link at the end of this video. So what I did was brought over my pie plate with the crust in the bottom. I poked a few holes in the very bottom crust with a fork, poured in my mix. You're going to try to flatten it down and make it as even all over as possible. And then put your second crust on top. And you'll want your pie crust sitting out on the counter while you're getting everything ready. You don't want to pull it straight out of the fridge and try to use it because it'll crumble apart on you. You got to let it warm up a little bit so that you can work with it. And then I'm going to go around with a fork and just press against the side of my pie dish to get the top crust and the bottom crust really smashed together so that none of that filling bubbles up and then runs out the side of my pie dish all over the inside of the oven. You want to make sure that's sealed really good. Take a pair of clean kitchen scissors or a pizza cutter or just a regular sharp knife. I'm using these little kitchen scissors and go around and trim off all of the excess. You just want to trim right around the lip of that pie dish. And then we're going to poke some holes in the top of this crust with a fork again to let some air go out so it doesn't bubble up real bad and leave a big space between the crust and our filling. And then that's going to go in the oven at 350 for anywhere from 30 to maybe 45 minutes. You want to bake it until it's nice golden brown on top and everything is hot all the way through. This is what it looks like when it's finished. And that is all there is to it to make a homemade pot pie. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Check out some of our other quick, easy videos for cooking. And check out some of our haul videos. We do those as well. Thanks so much for watching.